Hello and welcome back to the podcast. This is DerTebbers. I, as promised, have brought somebody else along for this episode.
Hey, lovelies, you got DerTebbers joining in today.
So she'll have her own educated or not opinion. I'm going with not.
You jerk.
Yeah, I gave her like what we're going to talk about an hour ago and then said, yeah, we're going to record. So we're going to record. First off, just a reminder, I will put the address where you can send us stuff down below in the description if you want to send us things. Reminder also, we are at PAX Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is that right? Yes, that's right.
I think so.
Yeah. We don't have Monday tickets.
Whoops.
No, yeah. I have to go back to work. So we are at PAX Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you don't get responses to stuff on YouTube and that's why, because we're there, not here. Anyway, let's just go into what's going on. Gamescom went on this past weekend, which was I'd like to go. It was in Germany, but we weren't there.
Only he'd mispronounce everything.
Not everything, just most things. I can say Wiener Schnitzel.
It's Gamescon, not FoodCon.
Yeah, but there's food there.
Food's very important. Food's everywhere.
It is.
It needs to be.
Some of the news coming out of Gamescom, Sony decided that Microsoft wasn't allowed to be the only one with Twitch. Because Sony, when they announced the PS4, they announced the PS4 with Ustream, which is the less popular, more Japanese or Asian-centric stream system, as far as I can tell. I've been on there like 3 times, and I didn't understand a word anybody said the entire time. So Sony announced that they're going to bring Twitch to the PS4. The share button on a DualShock will become the Twitch button, which means Twitch, which currently has 38 million unique viewers per month and 600,000 broadcasters, of which I am one of them, now has all of the people playing PS4. I'm concerned about that.
I don't know if Twitch can hold up under that kind of load.
I'm more concerned about the quality of the content that will be produced.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, my content isn't exactly high quality, but...
True.
It's high quality derp.
It's high quality derp.
Yes. That's what you pay for. High quality derp.
Packaging and bringing you the highest quality derp available.
Yes. I'll go ahead and address everybody who tells me I need to stream more. I will eventually. It's just not good timing. It's between PAX and Eurogamer and Gamescom, but we didn't make it to Gamescom. I'm sad. Next year.
Next year. I can get behind that idea.
Don't hold me to that. The other news coming out of Gamescom, well, some of the other news. Minecraft is coming to the Sonyverse. So you can get Minecraft on the PS4 at launch. And it's also going to the PS3 and the Vita.
I'll assume it's going to be a downloadable game?
I would presume so. Why would you put it on a disc?
I don't know. I'm used to all console games being on discs, even though I know even that's fading away.
Yes, it has faded away. So the last standout, the last group that didn't get to play Minecraft will now get to play Minecraft.
Well, except for the Nintendo kids now.
Oh, that's right.
There's still a last
I've completely written Nintendo off already.
Yeah, well, they've done that.
Yeah. They're still around. They have plenty of cash, so it's not like they're going to be hurting.
True.
I won't buy a Wii U, but whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of consoles, PlayStation Vita's price got slashed. Dropped to $199 or 199 euros. Which means that Sony still is proving once again Sony does not understand what an exchange rate is.
I was about to say, that's best to order and have it shipped.
Yes, it's best to order it in one market and ship it to the other market.
Exactly. Thank you for translating.
Yeah. And I didn't get the price in Great Britain, but I think it's like £149, which I think makes it cheaper in Britain if you exclude the VAT. But then again, you have to pay VAT, so...
Yeah.
Oh, well. Also, they're cutting the price of their proprietary memory cards, which are nothing but SD cards, but you can get a 32 gig SD card in proprietary Vita format for $80. And $40 for the 16 gig, and $20 for the 8 gig, and $15 for the 4 gig. Or you can go to the computer store and buy a Sony SD card, 32 gig SD card for like $20.
Does it work in the Vita?
No. But it has to be made at their same plant.
Yeah, it would have to be. That's
So I know they're selling the Vita at a loss. Especially now, they're selling the Vita at a loss. And it has no games, so nobody's buying it. But why are you gouging us on memory? Because everything is downloadable now. And there's no way you're going to be able to get away without a memory card.
I don't know. I mean, most cameras can format any kind of SD card to their format. Why can't the Vita do that? Yes, I realize it's going down to price gouging, but seriously, if you're going to give me all the space to save things, please give me something to play.
Well, yeah, there is that. Though, Sony did announce the lineup of games that they are going to have at PAX, and it's actually quite a list. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone right now. I'm going to fail miserably to do this in any sort of quick format. Entertainment. This is hot news. Game Informer, right off the wire. Vita games: Atomic Ninja, Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, Bit Trip, I almost mispronounced that one, presents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien.
Doki Doki Universe!
Thank you.
I don't even know what that is, but that name, really.
Dragon Fantasy Book 2, Fez, Flower, Hohokum, Kickbeat, Killzone Mercenary, Lone Survivor, Luft Trousers? No.
Luft Trousers.
I like mine better. Metrico, Proteus, Rayman Legends, Real Boxing. How can it be Real Boxing? Never mind. Spelunky, Tearaway, Terraria, and TXK. That is the Vita games coming to PAX.
You should love Terraria on Vita.
I don't like Terraria on computer. Though I will say, it has tempted me to buy a Vita. Because, I'm sorry, but your DS doesn't fit in my... I mean, like, one hand is a DS, and then my thumbs hurt.
Yeah, and then the 3DS really didn't change the ergonomics much at all.
Yes. So it has tempted me, though it probably won't happen until they actually release, I don't know, a game for the Vita.
Rather than just listing them.
Well, and most of those games can be got on the computer.
Well, yeah, in the end, it's on the computer.
Right. It's like just about everything. We were talking about this earlier. Just about every game out there that was once an exclusive has shown up on the computer. Like Guacamelee used to be a Vita exclusive. Now it's on Steam. Grand Theft Auto 3 was exclusive to Sony's PlayStation 2. Now it's everywhere, except for Nintendo. But Nintendo doesn't count.
Nintendo doesn't count. They own all of theirs. If you see Zelda on anything else, I'll be surprised.
Yes, other than ROMs. But in the end, other than Halo, because Bungie was owned by Microsoft, Forza, because Turn 10 is funded or owned by Microsoft, Gran Turismo, which is funded and or owned by Sony, except for those ones where they are actually owned by the company, there's not much out there that hasn't come to PC or we don't think will come to PC.
True. I mean, in the end, all the developers really want is people to play their games.
Right. Which actually segues nicely into the next bit of news, which is Ubisoft's The Division is coming to PC. It was originally announced that it was just going to be a PS4 and Xbox One game, Tom Clancy's The Division. But it's now going to be available on PC as well. They on their blog, executive producer Frederic Rundqvist. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
That was a valiant effort.
He said, since E3, we've been carefully listening to what has been said on the internet. I can't stress enough how important it has been for us to feel your support, interest, and commitment to the game. Your opinions matter to us. The positive energy you bring back to the team will help us create the best game possible. One of the most frequently discussed topics has been that of releasing The Division on PC. With that in mind, I'm very pleased to announce the game will be available on PC. Blah, blah, blah. He says more words.
Words. Well, he was listening to feedback on the internet, which means most of those people were probably using computers, so that might be a little bit of a biased opinion.
Well, but there's also an undertone of, like, Ubisoft subterfuge to this. Because there was a petition launched very shortly after E3 to get it on PC, and Ubisoft even said, if you want it, go sign the petition. It's like, well, why don't you just give it to us, because you're going to do it anyway? Because in the end, as much as there's a large console market, I would think that the computer market, while maybe not bigger, is more vocal and usually a little bit older, a little bit more have a little bit more disposable income. So dropping $60 on the latest The Division, or what would be $45 on Steam, is like, oh, okay, no problem.
Well, you've also got the added bonus on the computer that you can increase the longevity of a game by being able to mod it.
Right.
It gives everything a new look.
Like Morrowind or Grand Theft Auto 4.
Exactly.
Even Farming Sim. For what it's worth.
Many hours of entertainment in derp.
Yes. But that, yeah, it just, that to me really signifies the whole, just stop saying they're exclusives. Just say, oh, we're going to have it on this console for about 3 months, and then we'll release it to the PC.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, it's inevitable.
Especially this generation, the PS4 and the Xbox, and are running x86 chips. The Wii U is running a version of an x86, and they're all running AMD GPUs, so they're nothing but freaking computers in a little box. Without the luxury of a keyboard and a mouse. And multiple monitors. And the ability to mod.
And the ability to back it up when you bork it.
Right. Other than that, they're just computers. Okay. EA announced that they no longer want to be the most hated company in the United States or the world, which is going to take a lot of effort, let's be honest.
Yeah. That's a deep hole to dig out of.
They're still on my probationary list. I won't, as much as I want Mirror's Edge 2 or Dragon Age Inquisition, they're still on my probationary list. Though they did dump a bunch of AAA titles into the Humble Bundle. You could get Dead Space 3, which is only a couple months old, in the Humble Bundle for like $4.90, with all proceeds going to charity. Which, I mean, that's a pretty good thing, and that kind of redeems them a little bit.
It does, yeah.
They're the only major developer to stand behind the Humble Bundle like that. So, there you go. But then EA said, well, you know what? On top of that, let's allow refunds on Origins. So within the first 24 hours of first launching the game, so you can download it, can sit on your computer for 7 days, or 24 hours once you first launch the game, whichever comes first. Or if you pre-order the game, you can request a refund within 7 days of the game's release date. You fill out a little form, answer some questions. Within 48 hours, EA will tell you whether you get a refund or not. Which is awesome. I mean, I've had at least one follower who told me, hey, you want anything that I got on the Humble Bundle that can't run on my computer? Because their computer wasn't strong enough, and mine is. And it would be nice on Origins, because a lot of times you don't know. Because that's the one drawback of computers, is my computer is different than someone else's computer.
True, and not all developers are going to be doing the demos to let you try out the game. Or they do the demos so beautifully that everything else is just kind of meh.
Right. So I like this. It allows the idea of refunds. It only applies to EA's own games, not third-party games. But you have to think that with the muscle of EA behind this, and I will bet you that Valve is going to follow behind on Steam in some way, shape, or form. Once those two platforms are doing this, it pretty much forces the hand of every other developer to allow it. Which is good. It's good for the consumer because you can now buy a game, try it, and if it doesn't work, you can return it. Like we used to do way back when computer games started.
Yeah, when it didn't matter if the packaging was open. You just bring back all the parts.
Right. But there's obviously the chance that somebody's going to try to game the heck out of this.
Yeah, but you got to be really good to be able to beat a game within 24 hours of launch, initial launch of the game.
True.
But that's only one way of gaming it.
Yeah, and I think you would think something like Origins, it's going to keep tabs of where you are because it's cloud saved.
Oh yeah, that's
so if you beat the game, it's going to show up on your Origins, and they'll just be like, no, you don't get it. Yeah, I knocked something down. Hush. So, yeah, I think that's really great. I'd love to see Steam do the same thing, just because it gives us more consumer choice. I'm all about consumer choice.
It is, because Winemaker Extraordinaire
was crap. It was the worst game in the freaking face of the universe.
I'm sure it could get worse.
It could. It's called Farmville.
Tell me what you really think.
Or any of those other games that people say, hey, play this game with me on Facebook. No. Not going to happen. I hate Facebook. All right. So we go from full. Wow. I sort of lined this all up into like talking points that made sense.
Was that on purpose?
No, not at all. It must have been all that time in the newsroom that taught me these things.
Watch out.
ZeniMax Online, the makers of the Elder Scrolls MMO. Of course, I'm sure everybody's heard about it. They've decided they're going to charge a monthly fee on top of the $60 cost of the game. And the monthly fee is $15.
Ouch.
So you think about that. That's $15 a month. Last time I checked, there were 12 months.
Don't forget the leap year where you get the extra month.
So the first year, you would spend $240.
Ow.
And then $180 a year after that to play Elder Scrolls Online.
Ow. You really have to amortize that and play it daily to really make it worthwhile.
Right. And that doesn't end microtransactions because the microtransaction shop is still there.
Wait, they're charging that much and they still have a microtransaction system in place?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. If you're going to have a microtransaction, you need to make your monthly fee a lot cheaper or non-existent. Especially if the microtransaction is going to be pay money to win. How is their microtransaction system?
It's not pay money to win. It's pay money for various equipment. It's more like the World of Tanks model where you can go in and buy like a potion or a sword, a swad.
Swad. That's not too bad. Still, you got to think about how you're nickel and diming people. You're not really nickel and diming. You're 1 and 5ing at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and I think of all of the MMOs out there, there's only a couple MMOs that have the lore, the history, and the weight behind them that could get away with this. And Star Wars was one of them. And Star Wars The Old Republic went free to play.
Did they start that way?
No.
No, so I guess they just recouped their dev and called it a day?
I think so. And there's three models. There's this World of Warcraft model, which is what is happening here. ZeniMax is just revamping the World of Warcraft model. There's the Guild Wars model where you buy the game and then it's free after that. And then there's the free-to-play model or freemium model, which is exactly what it is. And I would have been happy if ZeniMax had gone with the Guild Wars model. Because I'll pay my $60 and then I just play my game.
Yeah, at that point I would not really begrudge a microtransaction shop.
Right. And I would have no problem with it, or even, no microtransaction shop. That would be even better. But
well, yeah.
But it feels like this is like the worst of the worst. Here's your microtransaction shop. Here's your player auction shop, which is also there. You've got to buy the game, and you have to pay $15 a month for the luxury of playing the game.
That seems a really steep upfront for the price of the game itself, and then the monthly, and I don't know.
But it is Elder Scrolls.
It is Elder Scrolls, and if any of their previous games are anything to indicate, you know it's gonna be good.
But it's not Bethesda doing it. It's ZeniMax.
If they properly do the lore and don't take it and tie it to the tracks, it'll be good.
I've not read anything from any of the people that have been in the alphas or the betas that says that it is anything that makes it amazing or awesome. So Blizzard is losing subscribers hand over fist in World of Warcraft. They're dropping faster than they have in a long time. And now ZeniMax is going to try to push the World of Warcraft model with Elder Scrolls. I think it's going to bite them in the butt.
I think it is.
And then the question is, once they realize it's bitten them in the butt and they decide to go free to play, what happens to all those people that spent all that money?
Yeah, you're going to have to find a way to compensate for that if you're going to just, change your mind.
Right. I mean, though, I did read someone said, I think it was Boogie, said, well, I guess they were really going for that single player experience. Because it'll be you and like 5 other people on the entire server.
True. Well, I guess if there's any silver lining to the cloud, it might keep the griefing down, because who's going to pay $15 a month to grief people?
True. And that's probably the biggest, to me, that's probably the biggest draw of something like this. If they'd make it a little bit lower, I don't know, $250 a month, maybe we could talk.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the amount of time I get to actually play games that I don't record, I couldn't justify $15 a month.
No. I mean, if that was the only game you played,
right?
Even if you did it for 3 months, it might balance the money, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I really kind of wanted to check out this MMO. I'm going to look at it at PAX because they are going to be at PAX. I'm maybe going to give them a what are you people doing?
Shake them and ask them what they're thinking. At what point did this seem like a good idea?
Indeed. So I snuck in something into the podcast notes that I didn't scroll down far enough for Dust to even see it. So she doesn't even know that this was here. I'm
going to get quiet while I read ahead.
The BBC ran a report Monday, the 26th. That's when we're actually recording this. On video game effects. And basically it started out talking about how there's this long history of violent games making people violent. And we're all gamers, and yeah, some of us are violent, but not all of us are violent. Now they're starting to say, well, wait a minute, maybe that's not true. So they started out this article in the usual media way of covering over the Sandy Hook, that's what it is, the Sandy Hook killings, and going in detail about that, which was a load of crap and really didn't add a lot to the story, other than the usual if it bleeds it leads garbage, which is media. But then they went and looked at the flip side of this. So there's this huge amount of people saying violent games are bad, it makes people violent, video games are terrible, which, by the way, they said about movies, they said about TV, they said about books. So, and they said about music, so, rock and roll. So pretty much they've got a pretty poor track record in calling it correctly. But the flip side is growing bodies of research showing video games can help people see better, learn quicker, develop greater mental focus, become more spatially aware, estimate more accurately, and multitask more efficiently. Some can even make young people more empathetic, helpful, and sharing, which would be nice, because there's a lot of unempathetic, unhelpful, unsharing little toads.
Yeah, it would be nice to, realize there's other people out there, but I would love to see anybody say that Animal Crossing is going to make somebody violent.
I don't know, I hated that. What was that guy's name?
Rossetti.
Rossetti? Was he the guy who owned the shop?
Oh, Nook.
Nook. I wanted to break his kneecaps. I wanted to break Tom's kneecaps. Like, I'm gonna go in there with this rake, and I'm just gonna whack your kneecaps until you give me my dang loan back, you jerk.
Hit him with a bug net. That's the best you're gonna get for violence in that game.
I hated him, a little freaking toad.
Okay, other games for not violence.
Because that one devolved into violence pretty fast.
That's your frustration that you're venting elsewhere. How about Katamari?
You ran over people with a giant ball of trash.
You never ate them. You never killed them.
No, but you pretty darn well squished them.
You were beautifying the sky with stars.
I wasn't. I was just running over people.
Folks, this is how we prove that games are what you make of them.
One example that they gave was they were designing a test to probe the effects of congenital deafness on visual attention. And when they were trialing a young researcher, they found that him and his friend repeatedly scored higher than expected. And they realized that their high performance on the tests was traced back to their fondness for Counter-Strike and Team Fortress Classic. Because they were able to do a better job of reacting quickly, processing information in the periphery, multitasking, making predictions, processing feedback, all the stuff we have to do anyway when you're playing a quick, fast game.
Yeah, you have to have reaction time. React or perish.
Yes, which is why you don't play those games. Just give me this grin like I'm going to kill you later.
Yep.
They also, of course, tested out puzzle games, and they actually put some non-gamers to task. They had them play the first-person shooter Medal of Honor for an hour a day for 10 days, and found that their ability to focus on environmental cues improved much more than a control group who was playing Tetris.
Or that Tetris group was probably great at problem solving for a while.
Yeah, probably.
But that's not what we're testing for in this.
Right. But overall, I mean, they talked about the power of empathy in that games that show you helping people. They had non-gamers play either Medal of Honor or the 3D puzzle game Balance, whatever that is, for 10 hours over several sessions. They found that the action game, not the puzzle game, the action game boosted the scores of female participants in their ability to mentally rotate three-dimensional and two-dimensional objects.
What is that, spatial reasoning?
Yeah, spatial reasoning.
Spatial reasoning?
Yes, not spatial.
Spatial. No, it's spatial!
It boosted the female participants more than the male participants, and the effect of the training was still apparent 5 months later. So really what it shows is keep on gaming because it makes us smarter and better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keeps you growing.
Or shrinking in your case.
Shut up.
All right. So let's talk about PAX really quick, and then we'll wrap this kerfluffle up. Kerfluffle. I like that word.
It's a spatial kerfluffle.
Is it a special kerfluffle?
It is.
Oh, it's kerfluffling. I'm pulling up my schedule of things. If I click on my schedule, will it actually show up? Sort of. I don't think I got all of the things. This is what I have that we're doing. I've got does story matter in video games? Achieving gender diversity in gaming. Okay, now what? Rise of the Indies and the Game Station podcast.
Yeah, we missed a lot that we're planning on doing. Your app's not quite with us.
Well, that's because there was a difference in the highlights.
Now back to the old-fashioned paper and highlighters.
Well, some of it I just decided was kind of derp.
It's gaming. There's going to be derp.
Well, there was one in particular, Crafting Minecraft, the Future of Gaming is Open Source Culture. I actually read the description of that. Mm-hmm. Remember when we went to PAX a couple of years ago and that PhD student did his presentation?
Yeah.
That's him again.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, quit it. Go away. Find another game.
Well, I was going by the names and marking it off. You just beat me to researching the details.
Right. There was something that I was like, I think we might have to go see. PC tourney. Friday.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god, Kerbals!
At 6 p.m. there is a competition on Kerbals. A Kerbal competition. Competition Kerbals? Kerbal competition?
It's a Kerbal competition.
Yes.
It'll be very compelling.
Oh god.
Maybe I can learn something from it, because Kerbals and I don't get along at all.
Right. We
don't get along well enough, I don't even put them in the ships.
It's for their own safety.
It is!
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but not a lot going on Saturday night. That's sad.
Gee darn, we'll have to go check out the music.
Yeah, well, we are going to OC Remix.
Yes.
But that's a community of sheer awesomeness.
It is. It has a website of the same name. Not sheer awesomeness, but OC Remix.
Yes, it does. It's actually at the end of every single one of Total Biscuit's content patches. He does an OC Remix track of the day.
Excellent.
It's definitely worth checking out, and he also gets to the news faster than I do because, well, this is his job. All right, so that's been the podcast number 2. These podcasts will change based on like what you guys say is good and bad and indifferent. I also find other people to talk to. Maybe I'll ask Fadman to talk. Maybe not. I'll get Stocko. Somebody. Anyway, stay tuned this week for the updates from Seattle. You saw I have a video camera, and so I will be video cameraing. Cameraing? Yes. Shut up. Just because I make up words.
So do I, but you pick on me.
It's because your words are weird.
Video cameraing?
Is normal. I'm in so much trouble now. Yeah, so you will actually see me and Doss at some point in time during these updates live-ish from Seattle. They're not live, but they're day of in Seattle.
Day of reporting. Breaking
Yes.
news at PAX.
Right. Probably not breaking news, but news.
If I'm involved, something will be broken.
Yes, usually. And then next week, there is no podcast because instead we will do something from PAX, some post wrap-up thing about PAX, just discussing what we saw and what we like and what we might actually go and buy or not, and why or not.
Very good, my friend. Another case.
Repeat much?
Yeah, a little bit. Hope you enjoyed whatever game I have in the background, because I really honestly at this point don't know what game I'm going to put back there. So until the PAX show.
Sounds like a good time.
Bye.
Take it easy.